everybody. The universe always gives us the opportunity and the gift to face our fears. I had this big aha moment last night and I want to share it with you. So I've never been an animals kind of person. When I go for my walks, what I get excited about is when I see babies. When I see babies, I just get very, very excited and I want to hug them and kiss them. I've never been the kind of person that runs up to dogs and gives them a pat, okay? And I think part of the reason is that apart from the really cute little fluffy dogs, I'm actually a bit scared of animals. That's always been something that's been inside of me. And then recently, what actually happened was that one of the spiritual teachers that I follow, her name is Laurie Ladd. I've followed her for a number of years now. And not only do I follow her, but I just have this deep love for this woman. She's so beautiful. And I've always wanted to be in her presence. And she's created this retreat in Kenya, where most of the days will be a safari. And there's only going to be 18 people, 18 participants. Now, if she was creating a retreat with hundreds and hundreds of people, I wouldn't have said yes to it because it would just be like another retreat. But with 18 people spending 10 days and 10 nights with someone that I absolutely adore and respect from a distance, and to be able to do that up close and personal was an opportunity that I was not prepared to miss. And so yesterday when registrations opened at 5:30 a.m. Adelaide time, I got in straight away and I got my spot. Now, I was not attached to that spot because I know how the universe works, and my wish was, if it's not for my highest good and the highest good of all, don't give me the spot. But if it is for my highest good and for the highest good of all, give me the spot. And so I got the spot. And then it occurred to me last night that part of this trip, which is most of the trip, we're going to be staying in big tents in a wildlife park. And when I say park, it means this is where the animals live. They just roam freely. There's no parts where they're kept. This is their land, and they just roam freely. And I just had this vision of me being alone at night in my tent, hearing the roar of lions outside of my tent, and I started to have this panicky feeling, like a really my heart was beating really fast. I'm thinking, oh my God, what have I done? What have I said yes to? And then my fiancé Christian, he thought that he would desensitize me, so he played, without me knowing he was going to do this, he played loud animal sounds through our kitchen speaker. And I was really frightened, and I told him to stop. It wasn't a joke. I said, stop, I can't listen to it. Like, that's really scaring me now. And I thought, oh my God, now I'm in this, I can't get out of it. And then it occurred to me, I had this thought that just came straight into my head, and I'm sure that it's from my spirit guide, that said, this is exactly why you're going to Africa. This is why you're going to Africa, and the retreat's not in Italy or in the Greek islands or somewhere that you'd love to go to. It's because you don't want to go to Africa. It's because you've never had a desire to go to Africa. It's because you're scared of animals. And you need to be in the sacred space of animals so that you could release your fear of them. And the only place to do that is in Africa. And so I then was full of gratitude because I realized that that's why I'm going to Africa and not some other country. It's because that's where I need to release my fear. And so once again, the universe is serving up on a silver platter our fears that we must face, that we must release. Because how can I be this fearless warrior of light and help other warriors of light rise to the truth of who they really are if I'm still holding this fear inside of me. And so the other thing about it was that how amazing that I didn't have to organize any of it, that it was all organized for me. All I had to do was allow and listen to my soul, because when the call came in for this registration, I just closed my eyes and I asked my soul, is this something that I need to do? And immediately a tear came down my face, which told me that this is what I need to do. Because the way that I make decisions these days is all about how I feel, and it's got nothing to do with how I think. It's got nothing to do with logic. In the past, when I used to make decisions, it would always be about, well, what am I going to get out of it? What's the agenda? How am I going to benefit? What's the return on investment? What are all these logical, analytical benefits to me doing anything? And I don't do that anymore. Since my spiritual awakening a number of years ago, I now feel into what it is that I need to do. And I don't even need to know an agenda. I did a course in June in Queensland, which was mind-blowing. And I didn't even know what he was going to be teaching. I didn't even know what I was going to be getting out of it. I just knew that my soul was actually crying from the emotion of needing to step up into the space that I was going to step up into. So the decisions that I make these days are all based on how I feel and what my soul is saying, rather than what my ego is saying. There's no logical analysis when I make decisions. And same with this Kenya trip. I didn't even concern myself as to which country it was going to be in. It just had to be that I knew I needed to go. And so it's wonderful that the universe just provided it all for me. And that's how the universe works for all of us, if we just allow it. If we don't get in the way, and if we don't have our ego say, no, you can't do that because of this reason. No, you can't do that because of this reason. And another thing that happened was that I booked my flights to Kenya yesterday, return flights. And I've never actually booked business class, even though I've done so many trips for work. I've never booked business class international. So I have booked it to New Zealand, but that's not international because there's no flatbed on a business class to New Zealand. They're just bigger seats, just like domestic business class. And I was in this bit of a conflict yesterday. Should I do it? Should I not do it? It's a lot of money. Should I just go premium economy? But we're looking at 24-hour trip. So I thought, no, I deserve it. I deserve to have this luxury. Why do others deserve to have this luxury above me? I deserve to have this business class return trip. And then just at checkout, I was given the opportunity to use my frequent flyer points. And I had 1.2 million frequent flyer points. And so that saved me about 6,300 Australian dollars from my return trip, which is a lot of money. And it felt like the universe was saying to you, you see, when you step up, we step up with you. When you step up 50%, we give you another 50%. That's the way that it works. And that is the way that it works. But first you have to overcome your own feelings of lack, your own feelings of unworthiness, your own feelings of fear. Step up, face it, step into the fear. And just like I'm going right into my fear, into Kenya, spending 10 days on safari, I'm facing it, and the universe is giving me the gift of the opportunity of releasing it. And so the question I have for you is, what fear have you got that the universe is giving you the opportunity to release, but you're not stepping into? There is something that's going on in your own life, because we're all being asked this at the moment. We're all being asked to keep stepping up, keep stepping up, keep stepping up. And as we're stepping up, we're releasing. And because we've spent years and years and years in terms of releasing our fears, these are deep now. These are not obvious ones. We're getting deeper and deeper and deeper under the layers, under the layers, under the layers. There's always something else underneath the other layer. And so what are you being asked to step into at this moment? Because there's no bypassing. There's no going around. There's only going in. There's no bypassing. I was listening to Aaron Abke yesterday, who is another one of my spiritual teachers, and somebody was complaining that they had a bad mushroom trip. And I loved what Aaron said to this. He said, there is no bad trips. The universe is giving you the experience that you need to face in that moment. There are no bad trips. So literally, metaphorically, there are no bad trips. You're being given in this moment everything that you need to face so that you can step into and not bypass. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And it's time to step up. We're warriors of light. We need to shine on. Sending you so much love.